All right. You know how we do this on the podcast. We're now talking to our YouTube viewers. Thank you for tuning in to Dunn and Drew's YouTube. You're here because the Jaguars lost to the Eagles and you want some sort of comfort. You want us to talk you. Well, you're probably not on the ledge. I wouldn't say anyone's on the ledge. I was on the ledge when
I think there's a few Jags fans on the ledge.
When the Eagles scored 3 touchdowns unanswered, I was on the ledge. I was ready to just give up on it all. But
you did text me saying they were going to win like 41 to 14.
Oh, the Eagles are going to win?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was at that place.
At that point.
I was at that place. So let's talk about you were there against a lot of the Jaguars fans' wishes after you didn't go to Chargers and we won, blew them out. A lot of fans were like, Eric, you better not go to Philly. You go to Philly, we lose. And now there's a GoFundMe out there for Eric to never go to another away game.
And it's only $500. So that kind of made me upset. Because these games, all the games I've been to, $500. If you want me to stop going to road games, I'm going to need y'all to crowdfund a whole lot more than that. But yes.
I'll work on it.
I was at this game. I knew it was going to rain, but I did not know that Hurricane Ian was going to meet me face to fucking face. So, first of all, the Jags fans, we needed this win more than the Eagles fans. I think we can all agree with that point. We needed this win way more. But
in terms of what?
In terms of
fandom?
No. In terms of just our confidence in this and going forward.
Okay.
Like the Eagles, they lose to the Jags. They're still gonna be Eagles fans. They're still gonna be like, who cares? Who's next? We're gonna beat their ass. Us, we beat the Eagles. We're not losing a game the rest of the season. In our eyes. But now
we were up 14-0 and that was my thought.
Right. Now we lose to the Eagles in the fashion that we did, and all of the, well, not all, but like obviously there's so much speculation now of all these Jaguars fans. 4 weeks in, we're doing this because we lost this game in the way we did, in this anomaly way we did. And people just gotta refocus. It's just 1 week. It didn't happen the way we wanted. But it is what it is, and it's not going to be like that the rest of the way. The games like this, they don't happen like this none of our games, except for how Trevor can't finish at the end, finish the same. So it was a freezing fucking monsoon in Philadelphia. First time I've ever worn a poncho, and it ripped. So it wasn't.
And you're from Florida.
And I'm from Florida. But we don't get cold rain like this, and we get downpour rain, and it goes away. This was sustained rain. From the moment I woke up to going to bed in my hotel room in Philly, it was raining. It never stopped. So I was in jeans. I had on an undershirt, a white tee, and a polyester Jaguars hoodie.
How you know? It's funny that you know what it's made of. That means nothing to me, but go on.
I was just trying to prepare for wetness and cold, and it didn't work.
I'm a cotton guy.
Oh, same. So like I said, the rain lasted the entire game. It was the worst game day experience of my life. Not even close. Nothing to do about the game because I left my seat, which was right behind the Eagles bench, amongst all Eagles. There was not a Jags fan in sight around us. Like when I tell you, when we got the Cisco pick 6, when we got to our seats, nobody knew we were Jags fans. We had the ponchos on. Our logos were kind of covered. We were just not talking to anybody. We just got to our seats, shivering and shit, just ready for the kickoff.
And when Cisco scored, what did you guys do?
Cisco scored. We screamed loud as fuck, obviously. It was dead silent in that stadium. It was so quiet. It was like Indianapolis Colts silence when they're on offense. If you know, you know. But it was so quiet. We're just saying, yeah, let's fucking go. Around all these Eagles fans, and everyone's just looking at us, but nobody said anything. They're just staring at us. So I just kept tunnel vision on the field. I didn't turn anybody. I didn't taunt anybody. Just me and Chris Ebrio, happy that we were up 7-0. 14-0 comes, we do it again, same thing. And the first quarter ends in the Eagles stadium. They're getting booed. I'm fucking loving it, but I'm freezing to death, man. Like there were wind gusts. Like imagine standing outside during Ian and it's just cold and rainy and it's just hitting your back.
I'm surprised you don't have pneumonia.
Me too, because I was wet like through my clothes.
God.
My socks were soaked. My shoes were soaked.
Was it packed? Was it sold out?
Yeah, it was packed.
Wow.
And all these people were just sitting in the fucking freezing cold wind and rain. I'm like, nobody's
3-0.
Nobody's as miserable as me and Chris were out there. It felt like everybody was just fine, and they're used to this. And I said, this is insanity. I didn't even make it the 4 quarters in the stadium. I left fourth quarter. We actually bought different seats to be able to go to the club section, which was inside and warmer, because we couldn't sit outside in the cold for the rest of the game. I was drenched by the second quarter because I had already stood on the field for 40 minutes in the rain trying to get those shoes signed by Jordan Davis. And I went out there when there was 65 minutes left to kick off, and they kick you off with 25 minutes left, and I was out there for that whole 40 minutes, just getting fucking rained on, wind blowing, jeans soaked. And after that, go to my seat, stand there for, I didn't even sit down. I couldn't move. I just stood there, just tried to like cover myself with the poncho and just let it just hit me. And I had enough after the second quarter. And I was like, I can't stand in this anymore. I'm watching this in the club section. But yeah, I was shivering for the rest of the game. It was fucking terrible. I thought I was going to fucking get sick and my lungs were going to be filled with whatever the fuck they fill with when you have pneumonia, but pneumonia.
I was going to let that slide, but it sounds like a woman. Pneumonia.
I couldn't even enjoy the 14-0 lead because I couldn't tweet. I couldn't even tweet through it because I was so hyped.
Numb.
I was so hyped like you were when you tweeted that this is your number one team. Yeah. I wanted to tweet some bullshit too, but like when I bring my hands out, they're fucking like numb, and it was raining as well. And I hate getting my phone wet because if it gets in the speakers and shit, it starts getting slower and shit. So, and I had my portable charger in my wet jeans.
Oh God.
So if all this shit gets wet, it stops working. So I was trying not to take anything out. I was pissed. Like I couldn't make any content. I was just like, can we just win this game? And then I told Chris, I was like, if we win this game, I'm going to make the most douchebag video because I've been holding it in the whole game. Like I wasn't able to vent and unleash on Twitter because my phone would have been soaked. But Eagles fans were out there like, I was like, not me, my little Floridian ass. But
maybe I give more slack to our defensive line for giving up a career day to Miles Sanders, because if you were struggling to even stand, I can't imagine what it was like out there trying to defend runs, the read option up the middle to Miles Sanders. I'd be like, nah, bro, get me out of here. But I would also...
We did a good job containing Hurts, but it doesn't matter.
No, because they had no other... there was nothing else. Again, in a second. But I was going to also say, I think you were lucky to have to contain your excitement, because being in the comfort of a Jags fan-packed bar that I was on cloud fucking 9 when we were up 14-0, which made the loss hurt that much more. I hate that so much. And I was a sucker. I took the bait, the 14-0. And why shouldn't I? Our team was playing like it has the last 2 weeks. Why wouldn't I say, oh, this is a continuation of the dominance that we have shown? So I am riding this wave. Whether I fall off and drown, I'll deal with that later. I did fall off and drown. I know you said here that you want to see my tweets from game day.
I do. Because you were like I
took a risk. A lot of
you Jags fans were chalking it up at 14-0.
Oh yeah. I mean, why wouldn't we? You saw Colts, you saw Chargers. I'm not blaming you. Yeah, I saw our history last 2 weeks, and I took a risk, and I fell flat on my face.
Yeah, it's just awful when it ages the wrong way.
It started when I tweeted after the Cisco pick 6. I said, "Is this our new normal?" Because after we just come off the Chargers high in the first drive or first or second drive, we pick 6. I'm like, this is us now
in Philly.
This is what we do,
and it still might be what we do.
We'll see. Second tweet came after we marched right down the field after getting the ball back again and scoring 14-0. I tweet, this y'all's number 1 ranked team, question mark, at NFL, crying face, crying face, crying face, crying face, crying face. And a few people tweeting at me saying, hey,
so you're
delete this.
Yeah.
A lot of game left. And I know some Eagles fans liked it, and they came back after the game, which hey, good for you. I would do the same. Our friend Tyler, he tweeted us, Jags are scary good. I quote tweeted it saying, we know.
God, you're cocky in this game.
I liked Raiders tweets from the week leading up to, and I set an alarm on my phone. I said at 2:00, I said, remind myself to look through my liked tweets. Because in my tweets, I have a tweet like this from an Eagles fans. We're playing the Jaguars wide receivers, not the Bucks, after an injury report from the Eagles. We're playing the Jaguars wide receivers, not the Bucks. It's okay if Maddox has to sit this one out. So I liked it. I was like, okay, all right. We'll see.
I'll come back to this.
See what Christian Kirk has up his sleeve. Another one. Eagles 4-0 upcoming Sunday. Mark my words. Retweet this. Hashtag fly Eagles fly. So I retweeted that after just 14-0 in the second quarter. Idiot. Next tweet. Someone said y'all celebrating way too early, and then after the Eagles scored once, I said I wasn't expecting to hold them scoreless. I wasn't either. I mean, so they're gonna get theirs. We're still gonna win. Then the Eagles score 1 or 2 more touchdowns, and I tweeted, momentum is so real, and it's eating away at my insides right now.
That was probably the only point in the stadium where Eagles fans gave me any jawing when they tied it 14-14. The guys I was sitting next to, they looked at me and said, 0-0.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Which wasn't anything because I didn't say shit to them all game, but when I cheer loud. So when we're up 14-0 and I'm cheering, that shit's kind of deafening, but I'm loud as shit.
Very loud.
So when that had to be fucking painful for them to see a Jags fan in row 1 in their stadium cheering that loud while they're down 14-0. So I'm surprised more people didn't join in with him after they tied it 14-14, but maybe they got a little nervous from my size, or it was just the weather, because that weather was shit. Because for as much as people talk about Eagles fans, I didn't hear shit. So it had to be the weather factor.
I was actually excited going into the game that the weather was so shitty because I thought the Eagles fans would be more tame.
Yeah, they were.
And I'm sure they were.
They really were. The ones inside weren't, but the ones that were outside in the elements, very tame. Very tame.
Next tweet comes after the Eagles continue to run it down our throat, but we go out and run 2 pass plays in a row, 3rd and 10, run it up the gut, punt, and then come out again, 3 pass plays in a row, punt. In a game where you should be running, I tweet, Doug Peterson would call 45 pass plays in a snowstorm.
Saw that one.
Next one, Doug Peterson, when his play call sheet suggests run, it's the gif of Larry David going, yeah. I
read your timeline post game. That's why I wanted to see these.
After the game, Trevor Lawrence lost 4 fumbles today. He's the first player this century to lose 4 fumbles in a game, says ESPN Stats and Info. I just quote tweeted it with Ash holding Pikachu in a bathtub with the caption, Pikachu, finish it with Thunderbolt.
Finish it with Thunderbolt.
And then that was my timeline for the day. Depressed. But what we're saying earlier, you said we contained Jalen Hurts, and that's because they didn't need to do anything else. Miles Sanders up the middle
killed us all game.
Miles Sanders, a career year, pissed me off because I had this man
fantasy last year.
I've had this man on fantasy a couple years, and he's done shit. But he plays the Jaguars, has a career year versus the number 1 rushing defense. And I realize that if you have a D-line, you can beat this team. You have to have the D-line that is strong enough in the middle and the ends. You have to both. You have to have a strong all the way around. And it may be why Washington was able to contain them in the second half because they have a fantastic D-line. But we have a very young D-line / our defensive tackle, Fadakasi, got injured and maybe I thought we were deep in defensive tackle. I thought no, he's supposed to be like a situational pass rusher, maybe rushing on the inside, but he was in there because Fadakasi went out, and we just don't have the strength, we don't have the depth or the manpower on the D line, because if you do, you'll be able to stop the Miles Sanders runs up the middle with just 4 people, and then once Jalen Hurts has to not hand it off to him and drop back and pass, he'll make some mistakes. He made a mistake versus us. He made some bad throws into the ground, had to roll out, throw it out of bounds because coverage was good. But if you don't, the Eagles are unstoppable this season. If you don't have that D-line, because this is what you have to deal with. You have to deal with so many variables. Jalen Hurts is going to hand it off up the middle, but he has the option. If it's stuffed, he'll pull it back and he'll take off with it, or he'll pull it back and throw it to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert.
Yep.
Pick your poison. If you don't have a D-line playing this team, you're fucked.
They are stacked.
That offense and that O-line is great. So until the Eagles match up against someone
like us
in the playoffs that can match them on the D-line, then they're going to roll this season.
So here is my long-winded analysis. It'll be pretty quick, but
can I interrupt you?
Sure.
No, while you go.
Yeah, go ahead. So Jags sit 2-2. It's another loss where we had a chance to win. So Washington, Philly, we had a chance to win in both of those. Trevor once again folded. Me and Andy, I think past few weeks, have been saying, like, we've been waiting for Trevor to show us that you can go down the field when we need you in like a 2-minute situation, 3-minute, 4-minute, and just go down there and score for us under pressure on the road. Haven't seen that yet.
Shit, do it at home. I don't care.
He gets another, I don't care. Do it. Do it on Madden. Do it somewhere, Trevor. We haven't seen it yet. You got another opportunity here. I think this game, Washington, Bengals I don't remember how that. I think we didn't get a chance versus Bengals. Burrow just did it himself.
They wiped the clock out.
But Colts last year, we had Jets last year. All these games, we are failing to close them out. But we're waiting for him to be that guy, and he isn't him. So until he shows that he can do that, I'm going to call Trevor he. He doesn't get the him title yet for me. He can get that. 4 fumbles and an interception. 5 turnovers. I get it.
He's he.
You're in Hurricane Ian. But 5 turnovers? Just give me 2. Shit. Give me 2 max. 5, though? Hurts had an interception, pick 6. Them motherfuckers were down 14-0 the first quarter, and they didn't fold. They tied it right back up. Hurts had 1 more fumble, and that's it.
It was a different game. It was kind of a strange game.
It was. But,
so we'll give him that.
But we won't. But I cannot excuse 5 turnovers.
No. And then the worst one was when we went for a 4th down. He rolled out, looked like he was going to be able to either pass it or run for the first, and ball hits his leg and fumbles it. That was tough. And then obviously the final go score a touchdown and 2-point and tie it, and then first play of that after we get a crucial stop on D. God, the Eagles love going for it on 4th.
Yeah.
I hate playing a team that you have to defend 4 downs. It's so frustrating because what are the odds? Like, the odds are pretty good that they're going to get, especially a team with an offense that good. Whew, it's stressful. So we make a stop, finally. Trevor's time to – everyone's hype at the bar.
Right.
We're like, oh, shit. Like, the momentum.
Because they went for it on 4th when they were in field goal range.
Yeah, because we went down, scored.
Was Jake Elliott hurt? Is that why they didn't go for it? Because, we don't have the same context when we watch in person.
He still kicked a field goal after he got hurt. Hurt, quote. But
so on did you hear like the game sound and shit, like the announcers? Because I'm wondering why they went for it on 4th down just to close it out.
Yeah, because they knew that we were in Philly, loud. We hadn't been doing shit on offense, and their defense has been giving us problems. And we had to not only score a touchdown but also score a 2-point conversion.
One of the Eagles fans before the game, when I was talking to one, I was saying how I loved how Doug goes for it on 4th down, and he said, "Yeah, our coach does too. It's like we got Doug again."
Yeah.
It was like, I definitely saw that in the game this weekend. But yeah, the turnovers were just very abnormal, very unfortunate, obviously. However, we keep getting tastes of a comeback. Because after Eagles bounced back, extended the game to 29-14 when we're like, holy shit, this is over. It's going to be 41-14 final. No, Trevor went down right down the field. It was like 5 plays, and it was 21-29. We needed that one more time. So we needed that just one more time, Trevor. Just keep piling it on. So that's something like we haven't seen with this Jags team in a while. Like just the ability to even maybe get a chance when you're down. Like he got us that touchdown with Jamal Agnew. It was very quick, and then we just folded at the end of the game.
I think how we respond versus the Texans will tell us a lot about the team. We'll do a preview video later in the week. I like the reaction that Doug got. That was pretty wholesome before and after the game. Wonder how the after the fact reaction would have been if we beat him. That would have been funny. And yeah, everyone wants you to stop going to games. But do you believe in? You don't believe in jinxes, or else you would not be going?
No, it's so stupid. I don't know how this got so big. I know I said it, but this is not the first time I've talked about me not seeing a road win. I did it all last season, but it's not my fault. We've been shit the last 2 years. It's not because I go to games. Jinxes aren't real. I just like, feeding off the energy of the people.
Do we play a trash team?
Yes. So that's how I'm saying, like, hold your horses. It was the Eagles. Next one's the Chiefs. Don't blame me for that. If I don't go to Kansas City, we winning? Imagine 40-14.
You don't go and we blow them out. Then you are done.
But I don't want to test that because I want to see Arrowhead. I haven't told you my plans for that game.
Try me.
I'll diverse. What's the word?
I don't know.
Shit.
But are we done with this video?
No, not done yet. So we'll talk about that on the regular pod. But I'm also mad that James Robinson only got 8 carries.
Oh gosh.
We were never down enough to justify not running the ball more. He gets 5 yards a carry. I'd never see him go down in the backfield ever. Him or ETN. So I did not understand not running the ball when they're giving Miles Sanders the ball 27 times this game. Jalen Hurts had as many rushes as ETN and J-Rob combined. And I know he's a rushing quarterback, but still, the quarterback got as many rushes as our 2 running backs. That shouldn't happen. And for all you negative Jags fans that saw this game and are like, wow, Trevor might not be that guy. It's still early. It's week 4. And here's some reasons why I think you shouldn't be feeling any type of way about this loss. One, we're not getting blown out this season. We're scoring. We just can't finish the close ones yet. It's week 4. How many weeks left in the season? Quick math. 13.
Yeah.
And this miles, like I said, miles ahead of where this team was last year.
No Sanders.
The year before that. And these losses aren't bad. They're just not clutch. We're just not clutch yet. We get some poise in our offense. We stop being pussies. We'd be 4-0. Just like that. Just like that. We'd be 4-0. We're right where we need to be. Schedule's looking good going forward. Texans on paper.
Don't do it.
On paper. Texans, Colts on the road.
W.
Giants at home.
W. Oof.
I don't give a shit that the Giants are 3-1. They are the New York Giants. It's probably how the Eagles felt when Jags were coming into town. They said, Jags 2-1? I don't care. It's the Jags. And I think Trevor Lawrence is good at fixing the issues that he has to.
He needs to fix his deep ball, though.
Yeah, he does still overthrow a lot. But I think he's going to work on all that. I trust him.
I do too. I also trust Doug.
Yeah, I just say that. I trust Doug, definitely. And I trust Trevor.
Unless it comes to running the ball.
Yeah.
He's lost my trust there.
He needs to fix that.
I don't know why he hates it. It's crazy. That's one thing. Like, I've never imagined myself to kind of actually last year prepared me for it, not running with James Robinson. But at least we still ran the ball.
Yeah.
Now it's like, holy crap.
Like he went completely away from it.
The drive that blew my mind was when we came out pass pass, first and second, third down, run up the gut on 3rd and 10. I was like, that's completely backwards, Doug. And then so going into halftime, his words were, we need to work on, we need to commit to the run more in the second half. First possession in the second half, pass, punt.
Shit.
Crazy.
In the storm. Like the wind, y'all understand, y'all couldn't see it on TV. That wind was whipping. That rain was coming down all game. It didn't stop once. There was no moment during that game where the rain stopped and you're like, oh, this is a little reprieve. Hell no. That shit kept coming down for 4 straight quarters, which is why I was like, how is this man not running the ball? These conditions are awful. Even Jalen Hurts in his press conference said he hasn't played anything like that since high school. Jalen Hurts hasn't played in anything like that since high school. But this is no time to write Trevor Lawrence off. So if you're doing it because he had 4 fumbles, relax.
I did say I'm glad they weren't 4 picks.
That is good. But
thank you.
It doesn't help our turnover margin, or differential, whatever the term is, because we were sitting pretty at like +7 before the game, but now it's probably a little lower. But Trevor, we've seen progression with him already. And for putting up with a consistent losing franchise, Jags fans, you should have all the patience in the world now with Doug Peterson and Trevor being under this guy. Especially because of how he's played in our victories. You saw the 24-0 win, and you saw the 38-10 victory versus the Chargers. Remember those, and don't only remember the losses, because that's not fair. So, yes, this was a terrible fucking game. It was terrible fucking weather, and they still almost beat or tied the Philadelphia Eagles somehow, because this team is more complete than it's ever been in quite some time. So there's no time to panic. We're on to the Texans, and we'll do a preview video for that, and I'm excited for that one as we sit atop the division at 2-2.